And because no individuals have got the right in the context of South African Constitution to tarnish anybody's name, and that is the case. And so you've got to prove that indeed this thing happened, because for the people who were not at Nazareth, if they are told that Mbalula was dishing money, that is the word used, quote unquote, then it remains a fact in the annals of history, but a fact and a statement of record in the public domain. So it's not about Mamkosazana, it's about me. And that matter, I've written to her, advised by my lawyers, that she must clarify those issues. And the failure to do so will go to court. It's not a threat. That's what I'm going to do. And you know, if you know my track record, that's what I do every day. I did with Somizi, my great friend. I did with some fellow who said I stole money from somewhere. I did with my sister, who was it? Anele. I did it with Musa Kaula. I do it with anyone who comes to me with unsubstantiated accusations against me. I didn't dish money. I'm the Secretary General. I did not arrive here because I gave somebody money. And so it's not for me to explain myself to you, because a statement that has got the reputational damage on me has already been made. And I'm not chasing her. I've made a statement in public and it ends there. I'm not in argument with her. And then if she feel so deep and so convinced about it, then let's meet in court. And she must produce evidence that I distributed money. Because in no time, hawks will be on my neck. In no time, somebody will be opening a case at police station like they did with Palapal. Now I must produce notes that I don't have. I mean, I didn't have money that I distributed to delegates. And if there are such people who make such allegations, let them come to court and prove that I distributed money in a clinic, Nohal. So that is the matter. And Lamola is dealing with that also, because he's been mentioned. So we did not do anything other than being not even implicated. That South Africa has been told that we're doing things and everybody knows about them. And that is it. And then what is your second question?
The date for the mayoral.
Date for the mayoral candidates. We're going to announce the mayoral candidates in a week leading to the manifesto. It will happen before the 23rd. And then all our candidates who are going to be announced. I can see you are making predictions and all of that and so on. This is an ANC campaign. It's not a mayor's campaign. We have interviewed people based on our criteria. We want people who are able to run municipalities, who are qualified, proper credentials, and therefore who are in a position to lead sophisticated budgets. Based on our experience in the past, we just nominated people and put them in positions of responsibility to manage budgets and lead municipalities. That has posed questions over time unto us. So we were given a mandate to deal with what is called an independent Troika nomination, which is what we've done. So the officials have finished that work, so they will finish it, and we will announce all our candidates, either at the central place. The media and the public will be informed about that. So we have done that work. We have interviewed every mayor in the country. And I think we have undergone a process of vetting of these people, which is what is delaying us, because we don't want to announce people and tomorrow they've got scandals and all of that. So we are thorough in terms of the process. So we will unveil them leading up to the manifesto launch on the 23rd.
And also from Museum Africa, there was a postponement for the launch from, I think, the 15th of August to 23 of August. Was it an issue of maybe delays in planning to secure a venue for the manifesto launch to end up in Diepsloot? Or did it have something to do with finances, perhaps?
On the 15th of August, there is a SADC meeting in Durban, It will end on the 17th. So the leader of the campaign is the president, and that is him who launches the manifesto. So he will not be available on those dates. And that is why we were able to inform the media through Nongeba and everybody that will now launch on the 23rd. So it has got nothing to do with finances. Our manifesto will be launched in Riverside, in Diepsloot, amongst our people, but not just as a venture of adventurism, but as a showcase of the work the ANC have done among our people at the Riverside, in Diepsloot, over the years, the work the ANC have done at local government level. After that, our manifesto will be rolled out in all the cities in the country. And therefore, we know we are suffering an Achilles heel of coalition governments. We lost Johannesburg 10 years ago to the hands of the coalition. We are leading government partially in a coalition in Johannesburg with other political parties. And history can speak for itself that since we lost after Pakstau, local government in Johannesburg, the challenges that we have faced. We didn't have challenges of pick it up. We didn't have challenges of potholes. We only had the challenge of electricity in Johannesburg, particularly Eskom, the liability of Soweto, which was at rising proportions of up to 19 billion. We brought it down to 9 billion. We're still struggling with it. Electricity is an Achilles heel in Soweto. You go in Soweto, people will tell you that we didn't have electricity for this and that. Yes, other people were on load shedding. We have been suffering on this for quite some time because of the liability. And we ask Eskom to intervene to give people meter readings when it comes to electricity. So these are some of the challenges we faced in Johannesburg and other municipalities that we lost, Eguruleni and Tshwane. And that will be reflected in our work. But we will also not hide our weaknesses and the fact that indeed we too have committed mistakes in terms of local government and over and above everything else. But we will not fudge the fact that coalition governments have affected our ability to accelerate social transformation in different communities where we once governed and governed well and effectively.
Thank you, Ashik. Moloko.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Mbalula. We appreciate it. I just have three quick final questions. On Advocate Madonsela, in the letter you are writing to the Speaker of the National Assembly, specifically what do you want her to do? But second to that, because he advised you as the ANC on the Section 89 process, do you feel he will not be impartial as the evidence leader? I want to...
Yeah, let's deal with that first because I'm not writing. No, it's not like we don't feel it will be impartial. Should it arise in public that the ANC kept quiet whilst they knew that Advocate Madonsela advised them on Section 89, we will appear as a party of being disingenuous and not respecting the process. That's why we abstained. We didn't vote for him because of that. And nobody said to us that be aware, we are coming with this Madonsela and all of that, because it did not come from our side. It came from other political parties. So the course of action in that regard, it means that anyone who's going to appear before the committee may raise the question of impartiality. And that is the question that must be settled, because we want a process that is free and fair. But should the matter be raised by other people in relation to the fact that he advised the ANC will be seen in a bad light. And that is why we did not participate in the processes. So what it means is that should that be found, that it's a question that can lead to impartiality and all of that, then it means the committee must resume and elect a new leader of the business. That's what the ANC would like to see happening.
Yeah. My final questions on Dr. Dlamini Zuma. Firstly, I just want to check if she is present in today's meeting. But second to that is, what do you make of the remarks to single out the likes of yourself, in particular, as a national official?
Well, it was a wide-ranging interview. So one will argue that in that wide-ranging interview, this just became one aspect. And it is clear that it is a matter that has been lingering on in her mind, and that probably she could have done something about it. I don't have a problem. I've got many allegations on my table from different provincial conferences about this and that. And then as the SG, I normally take steps with regard to that. So, Mam Nkosazana, we went to conference in 2022, and she didn't raise that matter. I don't have a problem if she says that there was money issues and money distributed and all of that. But she says that I was dishing the money. And that matter will be handled between myself and her in relation to that. One can say, why didn't you ask her and then settle the matter? The damage is too huge. Even if I can call her and write a love letter or whatever that is the case, it will not erase the fact that she stated this fact that I dished money at conference. So what is my recourse? It's a secret meeting with her. And then and all of that. No. The point is that because it was raised with Ndlozi in the most famous, popular podcast, it's not her, by the way. I ignored the first one that I instructed parliamentarians by Mamno's viewer. And then I became the bigger one. And then I realized Mamno's viewer is faced with difficult things. So let me leave this thing. But I didn't did what she said I did. And I left it. And that I gave MPs and commanded them. And then this is the second one, that now I dished money. It's only her who knows that I dish money. So I don't know about it. So we'll settle that matter in court. Yeah.
She's not present. Yes.
Yeah, she's not present. She apologized. She's not present. She apologized. She's on her way to Cuba. We are also invited to Cuba in solidarity with the Cuban Revolution. So she's not here in the meeting. She apologized for attending the NEC.
Okay. Are you covered?
No. SG, Norman Masubini from News 24. Mine is a question around the delay in announcement of the mayors. Don't you think that when you look at other opposition parties, they've been aggressive in nature in the campaign, that maybe they have gained a head start ahead of the ANC? And then don't you think that by delaying your announcement and you are delaying that aggressive campaigning that will set you on a back foot ahead of the election? Maybe to clarify, maybe on the follow-up of Muluko's question on Mam Nkosazana, for you to engage legally, don't you think it's going to divide the party when you are now engaging legally instead of finding political solution?
There's no political solution to a charge that you have stolen money. There's no political solution to that. It's either you have stolen money, you have dished money, or otherwise you clear yourself. There's no political solution to that. In history, and even today, when people read, they will say, Nkosazana told you that Mbalula dished money at conference, and that is it, it ends there. What's the political solution about that? I must accept that I dished money when I didn't. When there was a conference attended by more than 5,000 people, and that I dished money to them in favor of Nongeba to be elected, and the president and everybody. I didn't. There was no break-in in my house that found money or anything of that sort. So you can lay a charge against me. So I didn't dish any money to anyone. And that is a fact. So I'm telling you the course of action. The course of action, one, is that the matter must be referred to the Integrity Commission. That's where it will be settled in terms of the ANC. Secondly, the recourse on my part is a legal route, which then says, where does this matter come from? And therefore, that is the position.
The question around
The ANC.
Sorry? There was a question around, does the ANC not feel that launching late might set it?
No, it is not a technical issue. We are vetting people who are doing anything. I don't know what political parties followed to nominate their candidates, but the campaign is ANC driven. And the face of the campaign is the president. We can actually go into this election without a mayor candidate and elect a mayor after. It's a fashion, this thing of mayoral candidates and so on. It's a fashion. But we are not joining the fashion. We are doing what is a proven track record of the ANC. And what is that proven track record? Is that we place a person who has been interviewed before South Africans who have undergone a process, a rigorous process of interview, checked and all of that. And then as the ANC, we say, we will prefer South Africa, that this person, if we win election, to be your mayor. But the ANC is coming to you to ask for the renewal of the mandate with these people. It's not only the mayor, it's even candidates. Our candidates have been vetted and there is a criteria for them. Our candidates have been taken to community meetings. We're supposed to field our candidates by the 1st of September. So our process is more than 10,000 candidates we are dealing with. Our processes are coming to an end this weekend. It's the final deadline. And therefore, we are the largest party by measure. And therefore, communities have been involved. And the process itself is very vibrant. There are people who feel that in that branch, the candidate was undermined. We've got to deal with all of those things. But the mayors, we're done. We're done. So we will unveil them. In this instance, it is for the first time the ANC interviews mayors, independent. It's the first time the ANC announced mayors before the election. We are not kowtowing any political party, and there is no tactical choice. That is why we are linking the announcement of mayors to the unveiling of the manifesto. Our mayors, our candidates, by the time we announce our manifesto, that process will be done and dusted. We have already paid a deposit to the IEC for our more than 10,000 candidates. We are contesting this election wall to wall. We are the incumbent. The people are looking at us and what we have done, but at the same time, we are asking them to renew their mandate to the African National Congress. We are not contesting anyone. We are asking for society to renew our mandate, and we give an account. A manifesto is not drafted in the cold room. It's informed by what the people say on the ground. And this is what we are dealing with now. And therefore, we will account to the people what we have done. Others, like Africa Check, will say, no, you did not do so much. Others have got not, they don't have that obligation. They are not governing. We do have the obligation to account to society and defend our position in statistics, and also what we have done and what we have not done, and how we are going to correct the things that we could have done better in local government that we have failed to do. And that's what we're going to do. Others have got no obligation because they don't govern. They don't have, they don't control constituencies and all of that. We understand that perfectly. It's democracy. But the ANC have got a bigger mandate than them. And you say the campaign have begun. Yes, fine. All others have started, but the real campaign is on the 23rd. And that's when we are going to see South Africa movie, because the incumbent is now going to account. Others have launched. I'm certain they are going to launch their manifestos for the third time after the ANC because they must respond to the ANC. Others have long launched their manifestos, their candidates. It's political parties. They are trying to gain an advantage. And you can't blame them for that. But all of South Africa will look at what the ANC says on the 23rd. Correctly so. Not as a statement of arrogance, because we are waiting to hear what the ANC will say. Are they going to repeat themselves? Others will say after our manifesto, you are here, I'm here. Aha is one and the same thing. They are repeating themselves. So those will be our detractors who will say that. But we are very clear about the path to manifesto. You don't do things because you kowtow others. There's a lot of work that has been covered on the ground in terms of the local government. We are in the elections in 2 months. And therefore, the ANC have been on the ground. We are finishing the registration online today. And the real campaign is coming, where we go to our people and basically say that here is your candidate, here is the candidate you have selected. And that is why our process is people-driven.
SG Kawelo Maholeo from UFM. For Limpopo and Mpumalanga, the ANC has a municipality in each of the other provinces where you have to govern through a coalition. In the Northwest and Gauteng, there seems to be a higher number of those. Would it be fair comment to say this is a do or die election, at least in the context of local government for the party? And secondly, the comment about the GNU, is this just you expressing frustration with the conduct of the DA, or is this something that the ANC is genuinely worried about and doing something about?
The GNU has been created and supported and led by the ANC to bring stability in the country. To date, there is stability. All what we are characterizing is to deal with this notion that the GNU was a melting pot. And therefore, people come together because they've got an obligation to work together. We are saying that is not the case. That's why inside of the GNU, there are contradictions. Politically, we did not kill the identity of political parties. When the DA disagrees with us in the public domain or any other party in the GNU, it does not mean that the GNU is collapsing. The GNU is governing. It's leading the country. There is stability. We are faced with challenges of the cost of living, and you know why? Because of what is happening there in Strait of Hormuz. It has actually affected us here, and it hit at the pump. When you go and pour petrol, it hit at the household. The price of bread, the price of paraffin. It hits hard there, and that is the cost of living. And we are saying the government must mitigate the poor. So it's going to be interesting what we are going to do and say to mitigate the poor when we face with the midterm budget of the minister. So we are saying that we must cushion the poor. We must look at the petrol levy in itself, because it hit at the pump. It affects you and me in relation to this. And therefore, these are issues that are on the, not the lips. These are the realities we are facing on a daily basis as South Africans. Are we better off than anyone in the world today as a country? No. We are affected there. That's why we've been vocal. Stop the war. Stop the war. Stop the war. Peace, peace, peace to everybody. And that's what we have actually supported as government.
Debo.
The municipalities?
Is it a do or die? Because we are in coalitions almost every.
No, we are going to be campaigning to not find ourselves in the coalitions, because the coalitions are the ones that have brought us to where we are today. So the ANC is working and is going to be working for overwhelming victory in the country. We see the polls, what they say, but everything else to us is going to depend on the turnout on the day. If our people do not turn out in their numbers to vote, we know who will be affected, the ANC. The beneficiaries will be the DA and the small political parties who will be back in coalition government. I see what SRF is saying. I see what Afroparameter is saying. We see all of these surveys. But to us, voter turnout is important for the ANC. And that is what will guarantee us overwhelming victory.
Yes.
And that's where we are going.
Yeah. Debo?
With the SABC SG, two questions. First, on the Mamkosa management, what's your post with the Renaissance podcast? Do you see it? I mean, it's not the first time that they mentioned. Do you see it as a podcast that is all about maybe a rubbish or demeaning the current leadership for some reasons known to it? And secondly, how difficult do you think these local government elections are going to be? And this is against the backdrop of the almost 620 political parties that have registered. And on the backdrop of the fact that the ANC at some point were around 46% in the last elections. And now, again, your alliance partner is not even supporting you on this SAC. How difficult is this election for the ANC?
Well, I will come to that. Let me start first. All podcasts are important. They are important, and they are mushrooming, and they are all different kinds of podcasts. And this podcast is very important, African Renaissance, because it brings people there who debate issues, and we appreciate that. So there's no agenda to us in relation to the podcast. The fact that the ANC members and leaders avail themselves to podcast, the person who's leading the podcast and interviewing cannot be blamed. Cannot be blamed for that. It's a battle of ideas. And you can still argue that Mamkosa has got the right to express a view in the public discourse. The ANC agrees to that. But engagement in a podcast does not mean denigrating others without substance. You've got to bring the matter to the fore. You can deal with the phenomenon of money in the ANC and all of that, which is what we are grappling with, all of us now, and the dangers of that. And that is important to a political party that calls itself a revolutionary movement like the ANC. And therefore, that's not the issue. The question is it's a matter of attacking the persona. If I say Nongeba is a thug, she can accept that she's not. Okay, not even a thug. If I say that Nongeba is a thief, you remember Zuma once said that Derek Anekom is a well-known informer, and he could not substantiate that in court. You remember that?
Yeah.
He was damning, and he said Mwako is a sellout in Zondo Commission. And Comrade Derek Anekom took him on. He could not substantiate that in court. But he left a reputational damage to that comrade. That this comrade is a sellout and all of that. And Derek Anekom was then supposed to fold arms and say, I'll deal with this matter politically. If Derek Anekom did not go to court and challenge Zuma to prove his allegations, today everybody will be singing, "We impi when you are a sellout." Zuma long said that about you. It will be a statement of fact. What recourse do you have? Comrades must be comrades. Elders must be elders. Okay? And elders have got their role in the party, in the ANC. And therefore, they must exercise that role meticulously, cautiously, and with a sense of giving guidance. As much as we occupy these positions, Secretary General, we cannot match the history of Comrade Nkosazana and many other leaders in the ANC. They are our leaders, elected or not elected. To be in the same table with Nongeba does not mean we are of the same generation. We might be in the same leadership structure, but leadership is beyond just being elected into a national executive committee. Ubabu Chele, wherever he is a leader of the ANC. You see, all the elders of the ANC, they are our leaders. That's why they've got, a right that anyone does not have in the ANC. So when they speak, we must listen. And not all the time when they speak, we must rush and clarify ourselves. But equally, they must not be allergic to engaging us as leadership elected directly. Most of the leaders of the ANC, older people, I see them in podcasts. I've never heard them except Mike Maharaj and Matthew Sposa. If Matthew Sposa say this and President Mbeki, those are leaders I appreciate. President Mbeki even writes down and send letters to me and the officials and say, I disagree with this and that. You may not like what he says, but that's engagement. He can stand at any podium and say, yeah, Umbalula, as the SG, I did tell him about these dangers. And they did not respond to me about this. Not people who just, who are members of the NEC, was off, who go to podcasts and all of that. I can't kill the messenger. Ndlozi is doing a great job, as far as I'm concerned. And all other podcasters, I'm not really saying it in terms of what is ensuing now about McG and others and so on, but I'm just saying that you've got a choice about a podcast. You go or you don't go.
Yes.
Because they invite you. JJ and them is still waiting for me. I will go when I have time. You yourself, Ntebu, I don't know when is yours coming. And then there are many podcasts. And when you guys interview us there and we agree to come, it's our choice. You can't be blamed for that. It's a podcast add to the public discourse. And the podcasts are not regulated. So that is why the boys can even drink and do things that normally in terms of the prescripts of the law will not even appear on TV about other things. So they call it what? Uninterrupted what? Yeah, it is not edited. You get it the way it is. So people, they call it chillers. So you chill there. So you say everything you like and so on. So we can't be at war with people who are giving people platforms and all of that. So when I go there, I must be circumspect. But over and above, I must engage with the debate. It's part and parcel of enriching the culture of national debate in the country. Nothing wrong with that. Don't misunderstand and go and say that somebody's been taken on because he's not allowed to express their views and all of that. No. I saw people debating fundamental issues Mam Nkosazana is raising in that podcast about the real issue of the immigration. And that is the debate we are having in the country. And they are insulting her and all of that and swearing at her that, no, she's a sellout, she's what, and so on. No, we are not up to that. Can we stop this debate of social media, Twitter? Allow the debate, engage with the substance of what is raising. But attacking the persona of a person is not the substance. I said things one time about Mam Nkosazana and I wish I withdrew publicly and I apologized. I said to Mfaziga JZ, it was wrong for me to say that. I apologized to the NEC. I apologized to her because my mother in a grave will not allow me to say such things. And I was not even SG of the ANC. And how do I judge Mam Nkosazana a track record in the struggle on the basis of his husband, Jacob Zuma? That's wrong. It showed that I'm probably uncouth, I'm not well raised. So I had to stand up and apologize to her. I couldn't have sustained that particular thing from a young man like myself to say that about the veteran of our movement, like Mam Nkosazana. So I hold her in high regard. And therefore, but I will never allow anyone to say things about me that I did not do. I will not. And that is off the ANC mark. It's about me. And that is it. Thank you.
There was the last question.
Yes.
About
how difficult is this election going to be?
Yeah. This election is going to be very difficult, like all elections. These elections is difficult in many fronts, and the ANC tend to deal with that and is dealing with that. In terms of the challenges that are posed by the election campaign itself and the election. We come from a 40% mark from the national percentage, ANC shedding support. So we need to address that in the campaign carefully and in a dynamic way. And we hope that we will be in a position to talk a different outcome come post 4th of November in this campaign. We are going all out, full force, and at the same time, we win an election by convincing people and by talking to them, and that's what we intend to do.
Thank you. The very last question. We've had a very long one.
Lumasi Malane from Africa Daily News. Mr. Mbandula, the High Court in Makanda has now twice ruled against the ANC over the establishment of the Eastern Cape PTT, finding that the party fails to comply with its own constitution. Does the ANC accept the mistakes that were made in how the PTT was constituted, or does it entirely reject the court's interpretation entirely? And why does the ANC also believe that the Supreme Court of Appeal will perhaps maybe reach a different conclusion? And does the party believe that this prolonged investigation is it damaging the party's unity and election preparations?
We don't have a choice. We have to defend the party because the National Executive Committee is the supreme body that constitutes interim structures and do all of such. You know, there is a province called Northwest. Its mandate has expired. So if you were to go with Notembu's outcome, it means the NEC must not constitute the PTT. That judgment, you must read it, what it says. It says that the minutes we gave them are basically an afterthought. I'm the Secretary General. I give minutes to the court about the decision taken by the NEC to appoint an interim structure because the PEC mandate had expired. The judgment that interdicted the conference did not set aside the Provincial Executive Committee. The Provincial Executive Committee was intact, and that is it. So the fact of the matter is that those issues will be ventilated in court, and therefore we believe that the Supreme Court of Appeal will be able to deal with these particular matters, and we are actually appealing that particular decision, which we believe that it is appealable.
Thank you.
And that is what is important for us. So there is no vacuum in the Eastern Cape. All structures are intact. We are moving ahead nicely. And the only thing that is not in existence is the PTT, and we're challenging that matter on urgent basis in the Supreme Court of Appeal in Bloemfontein. That's what we're going to do.
Thank you so much, SG. Thank you, everyone. SG is now needed inside. That brings us to the close of this session.